The fantasy suites are almost here, and we are getting a look at the rest of the season. It looks like there are blind sides, a lot of tears, a lot of love, and for the first time, we are finally getting a glimpse of both bachelorettes in engagement dresses. What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Blakely McHugh, and welcome back to another Shared News Update. Zachary Reality and Allison Van Dam are here with me to break down the Week 8 sneak peek preview of The Bachelorette. You guys, I know we all saw the Men Tell All, so we all saw this trailer. What were your first thoughts when you saw it air?
It looks dramatic. I think the ending of every Bachelor season is always like actually dramatic. Like we say it's not, but like think
Yeah.
about the last few seasons, like it always really does get super dramatic after hometowns. So I'm super excited to see how this journey like unfolds, at least on the TV screen, and how it all plays out. And I'm kind of just like a little overwhelmed as we were talking, and I feel like Bachelor fans listening might be able to relate to this. There's a lot of episodes and content and 2 hour specials and live specials and fantasy suites coming with two bachelorettes that we really are in for a treat or an assignment, because I just need to see this thing end already. Like, this has been a long season. This has been a very long season.
It's been a long season, and I think sometimes people forget just with the structure of any season, really hometowns is kind of about that halfway mark. So really we have just as much time with those final four or coming into those final three as we do when we used to have 30 guys. And because this season's been so much jammed into, every weekly episode, I'm excited to get to know the guys more. I think that's been a complaint across the board in Bachelor Nation is we really don't feel like we know these people. There just hasn't been enough time. So in a way, it's daunting that we're suddenly going to start having, 2 episodes a week. It's going to be Monday nights. It's going to be Tuesday nights. But in a way, maybe that's a good thing because we tried to jam all of those hometown dates into one episode. Poor Avon got booted to the following
Poor
week.
Avon.
And everyone else's hometown dates were like 5 minutes long. So maybe now we can all
Justice
take
for
a breath
Avon.
and actually see what these bachelorettes have been seeing in all these guys.
Agree wholeheartedly. I feel like it's going to be less of an assignment, Zach, and I think we're actually going to get to enjoy it. This whole time, I feel like I've been saying, fans have been saying, I don't even know these men. We know Tino, we knew Nate, but like we just got to know Eric from the hometowns. But even their hometowns were like 10 minutes long each. So I kind of feel like we need this crazy schedule, no?
We do need a schedule and we need it mapped out. I think there's some Bachelor accounts on it who are like mapping it out, and I'll get back to you and we'll get back to you. But, like, because there is a lot of
Perfect.
changes that's been happening. But I'm excited
There
to get
is a
to
lot,
know
yeah.
these men as well. Allison, there's a few of them I really like more than others.
Well, we do know that, Zach. Okay, we're gonna watch the trailer in its entirety. Some stuff we've obviously already seen, but there are some juicy clips that we haven't said yet either, which I am really excited to get into. So without further ado, let's jump into our first clip.
Let's do it.
I am in love now. I just want to hold on to it for as long as I can.
I didn't realize that was a really great pun. I said, let's jump into the first clip. And what was the first thing we saw? Them jumping into the lake or river or whatever that was.
You didn't know
Obviously,
that?
the trailers always. Well, I did, but this just came naturally. I've watched this a couple
No,
of
but
times, but I didn't.
That's awesome though, because usually when I'm like doing the panels, I'll have the clips with like notes, so I kind of know to get my puns ready. So that's pretty cool that you just like did that on luck. It seems like
I don't know if you know
you're the
this, Zach,
queen.
but like, I am the queen. I don't need notes. It just comes so naturally to me.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what we're seeing though. Obviously, we're seeing Gabby falling in love with Johnny, Eric, and Jason. Your quick thoughts, Zach. I mean, we just saw a lot of happiness right now.
Yeah, she's jumping on Johnny, I believe that is from that one scene where she also seemed like she was walking away from him, which might be in this trailer or another one. But I feel like she has guys that kind of look alike. They all have light eyes and dirty blonde hair, so she definitely has a type. So I'm excited to see who she has the most depth with. I kind of think it's Eric, but you never really know until the end.
I think we're all feeling Eric after that hometown, but she's got some strong contenders here. I'm here for Johnny and Jason also. Okay, let's see Rachel's guys.
You've always made me feel so safe.
You're rich. I fully expect to be getting down on one knee.
We had the best time. I feel like I fit in perfectly.
I mean, just from these conversations, how is Rachel going to make a decision? She's kind of confusing me with her conversations with Zach in these clips. Allison, what are your thoughts on like where her head is at?
My thought is she's not even going to really have to make that decision. I'm sure we'll dive into it, but we've been seeing those clips from the season premiere of Zach having that emotional heart-to-heart with Jesse, saying he's having a 180, saying he needs to let her know. We've also seen clips of her saying he changed his mind after Fantasy Suites. Like, as tough of a decision as it looks when we're seeing them in good light and friendly and having these amazing dates, I'm not sure she's going to be left with all of her guys standing. I'm not sure it's necessarily going to be up to her.
And we're going to see that clip of Zach in a second of exactly what you're talking about. She obviously has one more guy, which is Zach's favorite, Avon. So let's get him here on our screen.
He is my favorite.
Welcome. I'm on cloud nine. I'm falling in love with you, and I'm ready for an engagement.
This is the moment during Clayton season where
Whoa.
So I don't know. I know, Zach, you like love Avon. You've got this huge soft spot for him, but I don't feel like I see their connection that much. I don't know. Like, do you think, does he even have a chance? Do they actually have a connection that can compete with Zach and Tino's?
They don't, and that's what I love so much about Avon is that he's probably going to get sent home and be single or the next Bachelor. So this is honestly going to end the way that I want it to end. I think Avon's great, but I also think during his hometown it kind of showed that his connection is behind Zach and Tino's. Like, regardless of if he's my favorite or not, like him and Rachel just are behind, and I just don't know if they are like have that much compatibility. It just seems like they come from different worlds, they're different lives, and it seems like they have the hots for each other, but she has way deeper of a connection with Tino and Zach.
I mean, they did have that one-on-one. Where was there a one-on-one in Amsterdam? And I feel like all we did was see them kiss, right?
I mean, that's what you do.
She was in that dress
when you're with Avon.
Yeah, so you're right. They have the hots for each other, but I'm not seeing any other connection. Okay, so obviously the trailers always start off with happiness and love and light, but then there's a quick dramatic turn, and that's where we're at now. So let's see what happens next.
everything went haywire. The last thing your dad said to me was, they don't like me. I'm scared to move forward.
After Fantasy Suite, everything took like a 180.
Ooh.
So there's what you're saying, Allison, the 180. What the heck could the 180 be? I'm like so curious. Do you have any theories?
I mean, unless something changes in these upcoming episodes, when we last left Zach at his hometown dates, he was definitely falling for her. His family was very into him. He expressed that he is falling, if not in love with her. I believe he said, I'm falling in love with you when they were at the plane. And then after his hometown with the parents and outside the house, he said he was in love with her, if I'm remembering correctly. So there's only a 180 from love, and it's usually indifference. So I don't know what fell apart or what's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, my heart goes out to Rachel because it's clear that this season has been so tough on her throughout. And I think one would hope that if you get to, your final 3 guys, they should really all be there ready to go, ready for an engagement. And I guess at least he's being honest, at least he's being open. But yeah, I don't know how a 180 could in any way be good at this point.
Are you saying a 180 from his perspective, like he had a 180 or he experienced a 180? Because what I take away from that is maybe he was thinking that Rachel felt the exact same way as he did, and now he's been given a 180, like, whoa, she doesn't. I'm so lost and confused.
That's very true too, and that could be It could be either. He could be experiencing, it's Fantasy Suites. He could be having, a Susie Clayton moment of it all where he realizes she's sleeping with other people. She has strong connections with other people. Maybe it's just a huge setback for him to realize just how deeply she feels about Tino. I don't know. It could go either way.
Do you think, Zach, is going to self-eliminate, or is he going to be eliminated?
Whoa. I think we need to keep watching to see.
Yeah, there is
but
a next clip for it. I jumped ahead.
Okay, yeah. Let's watch that and then I'll give you my opinion.
Let's watch that, then you answer the question.
I felt blindsided. That was the last thing I could have ever expected.
Now I'm like picturing the girl that like I'm in love with doing that with somebody else, like that crushes me.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay,
so
Zach, take it away.
I think talking to Jesse Palmer is serious. I mean, that's a big deal. You know what I mean? Like at this point, we saw what happened with Logan. Logan pulled Jesse Palmer aside, when he was trying to switch sides. So I don't know if Zach has, maybe he's realized he likes Gabby. Maybe that's what the 180 truly is, that he finally realizes that it was Gabby all along. I don't know what happened in Fantasy Suites, but I feel like when the cameras are down and you spend the night with someone, you truly get to know them.
Yeah.
So I think that maybe he realized he wasn't in love with Rachel as much as he thought he was. But I hope that's not true because I really like them together.
I thought they were really sweet together. I want to talk on Gabby because we saw a little bit of her, but I think that we get a little bit more. So let's watch the next clip and then we'll dive into the whole Gabby and Eric of it all.
Cool.
He's testing me. That's like not something you do to someone that you love. Just take a minute, honey. This is all a lot.
Ooh.
I don't know why, but Rachel consoling Gabby in that way, it kind of makes me laugh. Like, I mean,
That
of
wasn't
course
Rachel.
she would know it's all
that
a
was
lot.
Gabby's mom.
Oh, really?
Not her mom.
I was like,
her
why is
aunt
she
or
calling her honey? Yeah, not her mom. Okay.
her aunt?
I
or
was
her
fully
cousin
thinking
or
this was
someone.
Rachel from behind. I was so
It's
confused.
not Rachel.
Okay.
I'm excited
now
to
that
see the
we've cleared
families.
that up,
We love their
100%
families.
excited to see the families. I'm excited to see Grandpa John again. I'm excited to see, Rachel's dad.
Big
but I want
Tony.
to talk about Gabby, Big Tony. But I want to talk about Gabby and Eric because this is obviously it looks like Gabby is not happy with what Eric is saying to her. So, but I feel like he also has a leg to stand on. I mean, right? To have this open conversation. Allison, if you want to take it away, like what your thoughts are here.
Yeah, I mean, he has every right to say, it makes me uncomfortable for you to be sleeping with other people, or anything like that. We've seen contestants say that in the past. I think the difference here is when the roles were reversed and Gabby had her date with Clayton, she was the one out of the three that was very open and encouraged him to pursue things physically with the other two because she wanted to know that she was still his final rose pick even after exploring all those avenues. So I'm wondering if that's kind of in the back of her mind, like, when the roles were reversed, I was in full support of Clayton exploring those paths and I as the lead should be able to have those same freedoms. But I don't know if this is going to be like a quote unquote breaking point for them. It doesn't seem like they're super upset. She said he's testing me. So maybe he did kind of give her more of an ultimatum or just saying, if you do go down that path with these other guys, I can't stay. I don't know.
I feel like we've also seen a lot of times the producers make the contestant, whoever has like the strongest connection with the lead, right? So I feel like they made Susie go last in the fantasy suites, and then Susie was the one that had the reservations about Clayton being intimate with other women. So maybe Eric is going last in the fantasy suites, and now he's expressing these feelings, and that's what's creating this, because Clayton also got upset with Susie that she didn't express those reservations early enough. What do you think about that, Zach?
Well, then maybe he's going to get the first fantasy suite and then tell Gabby, like, I don't want you going on these other dates. But I don't know. I think that Eric has... We have to see it play out. We don't know the context, but I think Eric is, has a point. He doesn't want Gabby doing overnights with two other guys, but... Gabby also has a point. She's, the Bachelorette. She's exploring both connections. So I hope that it's not like Susie and Clayton, because that conversation between them should have happened maybe earlier in the season. So if Eric has been thinking about this, that he was uncomfortable with fantasy suites and is just telling her now at the final 3, maybe that could have been a conversation to tell her, at final 6 or 7.
Earlier. Agreed. Okay, let's move on to our next clip.
I've tried so hard to not be reckless with other people, and he's reckless with me.
I just love her.
Aww. But you see, she's walking away from Johnny. She's done with Johnny.
Yes.
I think she's breaking up with him right
Well,
there on the beach. I don't think she'll do an overnight with him.
You and I have, I feel like, just gone into detail of this specific clip, like where it is, what's happening, the outfits they're wearing, and I feel like they're separating. So maybe Eric's concern won't even be a concern because, I mean, who knows what's going to happen with Jason, but maybe they're not even making it to fantasy suites. What are you thinking is going on, Allison? You looked surprised when Zach said that.
No, not surprised. It's me trying to analyze it as closely as you guys have analyzed it before,
Yeah.
and trying to think if in any way
We thought this was in
could be-
Florida.
but I was wondering if could be in any way, like, is she just like leaving to change for dinner? Is she really walking away?
Yeah.
I don't trust that her voiceover has anything to do with Johnny. It's very easy to do,
True.
arts and crafts with audio and video. So I don't know. Did she like
We know
forget
that.
They do like to
sunblock?
manipulate.
Did she?
Yeah,
Does she
Allison,
need a
you're
floaty?
being so positive. You're being so positive, Allison, when me and you both know that it's just not going to work out with Johnny.
No, I
Listen,
knew it was
you
never
have to
going to work
put
out with
devil's
Johnny. I don't know
advocate.
the slightest thing about Johnny. He basically looked like Logan's doppelganger for most of the season, and that's all I know.
But Johnny's
Okay,
hot,
there's
so
more drama.
I think he'll do good in paradise if he goes.
Okay. There's more drama coming, so let's get to it.
Okay.
I want the best for her.
I'm just so conflicted now. I just don't understand. You told me things, and then you went back against what you said.
Whoa.
So maybe, Allison, that actually you guys may have been onto something, and I was an outlier for a reason, because, I mean, unless, again, they're butting two clips together that don't belong, but maybe Zach is going back on his words.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then my question
That's
is,
what I'm getting.
what is this? He was saying things shifted after Fantasy Suites. He was
Yeah.
saying there was a 180 surrounding Fantasy Suites, but here we see them at a dinner portion. So when does he get the concerns? Is this potentially even after Fantasy Suites? Is this her last date with him when she's down to 2? Why are we discussing this at a dinner? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the
Interesting.
timeline?
This sucks for Rachel, though. Like, as you were saying, Allison, like, she really has been beat all season. And, like, her final 2 guys that she has the strongest connections with, we see Zach, they're going through so much drama. And then on Tino's side, like, his family hasn't been supportive of Rachel. So that's, like, a hurdle to overcome. So poor Rachel, she
Sure.
really is just going to go through it. And that's why I said that the ending is always so dramatic. But hopefully there'll still be a happy ending.
But here's my thing about this situation, right? I think all of us have known that Tino has been her front runner the entire time. Tino has never wavered from being number one in her mind. So, like, although she could be upset that, whatever, Zach goes back on his words, things aren't working out with Avon, like, it's not a Katie Thurston situation where she wanted Michael A. and she wanted Greg, and then they both left her, and then she ended up with Justin and Blake as her final 2 that she didn't even want. Like, we're not in that situation. She has the man that she's wanted this entire time, right?
But you don't know that.
I mean, it
I don't know.
sucks,
I
but-
thought that a lot of people really ship Zach and Rachel. Like, they do have a strong connection. So I don't think it's that cold cut and dry that she's picking
Okay.
Tino and it's all about Tino. Like, the Zach is really solid in her heart.
Okay. Let's watch the next clip.
I want to be fully honest and transparent.
He took advantage of everything. He never loved me.
The drama.
So at this point, we've seen her have tears with Eric, her have tears with Johnny, and her have tears with Jason, all of her last 3. So, I don't know where we go from here, you guys.
Well, what do you think's going to happen
Are
with
we
Jason, Allison?
I was just trying to say, are we sure that this is her crying about Jason? when she's in the next clip.
No.
It's kind of hard to tell like what she's wearing.
It
You
is.
can't see an outfit.
It is.
Her hair's down here.
Yeah.
She's in green, like Blakely.
Yeah, and then in the next clip, she's got a bun and right.
But with this one is that she has a ponytail in there. And this could be him
Well, she's-
stepping out to go
yeah.
visit like a mariachi band.
No, but he looks a little discouraged and upset. Was he
Maybe
wearing
he
that
doesn't
white
want to
shirt
see the
on their
mariachi
date?
band.
It's not the mariachi band.
I don't know, but
Allison.
this is just
There's
for
no
the
mariachi
I
band.
mean, Zach, for the longest time, we've been talking about how we have seen no trailers or no glimpses, and we do finally at the end, but of the women in, getting ready for the engagement. I feel like we typically see some sort of like something that gives it away that, the lead is having an engagement or there is a proposal, one or the other. And while I feel like we
But that's
have seen that
coming.
with Rachel, although no, I know it's coming, but it's sort of like leading us, kind of confusing me in terms of all three of these men. There's something happening badly where she's walking away crying, and they haven't shown anything up to the trailer, so there's just a lot going on.
I
But it
think
is coming,
that,
so let's see. Go ahead.
I just think that as we get the last couple seasons, a lot of times people are now breaking up with people during dates. Like, there's no more, like, break up with you, you already have a ring. Like,
Yeah.
people break up with their final 2 or 3 a little bit earlier than in the past. So I think that's why. But let's roll the next clip.
Let's do it.
What is about me that's so hard to love? Now we're literally about to be engaged.
Here we go.
I gotta be honest, Gabby's little one-liners when she's like, "What's wrong with me?" They really pull at my heartstrings. She like makes me sad sometimes.
I just wish they both had more confidence. I feel like this show just like tore their confidence apart, and like we really saw both of them stand up for themselves at the end of Clayton's season. And this season, they keep doubting themselves. And I hope that at the end, we see them, come full circle. And we kind of saw that at Men Tell All. I saw Rachel kind of be like,
Yeah.
defend herself a little bit. So I hope we see more of that.
Okay, let's move on to the next one because we're seeing a little bit of the final roses that we were talking about.
Wow. To our dream guys. Literally dreams. I just don't want him to feel pressure. But it is what you...
Okay, so they're both talking about an engagement. Before we get to the next clip, do you guys think that there's going to be an engagement for both of them?
I think yes, but I don't know if it's going to be as standard as we think. Obviously, in the little screenshot of Why Can't I Speak, we see her here. This looks like an engagement, a proposal scene at the end. But we've also seen that clip of Jesse Palmer telling Rachel, Gabby's not here. You're the only Bachelorette left.
Yes.
And she had like a one-shoulder red dress on. So does Gabby leave, when they're down to their final 2? Is Gabby just missing for part of it? Like, I'm wondering if Gabby's proposal is happening potentially elsewhere with a guy that potentially
That's what I
self-eliminates, or
think.
she has to go be with them. Yeah.
Good memory.
I think she's gonna.
So-
I think she might leave early with like Eric possibly, because like his dad is sick, right? So like maybe he needs to go home, and like Eric might be her choice. But I do think that because we saw this Mexico scene, I think even if she leaves, I think she'll still come back to give like Rachel advice before she gets engaged. Like if she does leave for like a few days.
I was asking because you touched on that red dress moment where Jessie says, she's the only one left. So, but we don't see that at all in this trailer. So where do we think that happens?
Well, that's the thing. It's like, why is she wearing that red dress if this is her proposal engagement scene? I mean, I don't see a second rose on that pedestal, so I don't think it's going from 3 guys to 2. This looks like her final rose. So maybe she leaves before the second to last rose ceremony.
Let's roll the
Okay.
next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always a rose ceremony at final 3, and then the finale.
So
one
we just
is
haven't-
separate.
So that could be at whatever rose ceremony is coming after the fantasy suites. They're just not showing that in this trailer.
Possibly.
Okay, let's move on to the next clip.
You want someone who's going to commit to you for life.
Right.
And who is 100% sure.
Yeah. I feel like all my dreams are like coming true.
Well, kind of just like what we just talked about, maybe Gabby is coming in later. Zach, do you think she's going to get the, Bachelorette proposal that she wants, Gabby? We see her picking up the rose and everything.
I think if she wants to, she will. And I think Eric's going to propose to her. I do.
Okay. I love that. Let's go to the final clip because I have some theories about the final snippet of this and who is holding the ring.
Okay.
So
That's the last one?
I'm thinking that's the last one. That's where it ends.
Okay.
So here's what I'm thinking. I'm really proud of my analyzation here. I'm thinking that this is Tino because if you think about it, he's Italian. He's got some more olive, darker skin. The only other men who are left are Jason, Johnny, Eric, Avon, and Zach, but we've kind of all agreed that Avon is going home. I think this is Tino holding the ring to propose to Rachel. Well, I guess we don't know that Avon's going home, but we're assuming. You don't think so? What is your face, Allison? No.
This man is a general contractor. Unless he's getting manicures on the daily, his thumbs and cuticles are not looking like that. There is no way that those are Tino's hands. That man is rough. He's building things. He might have put a nail through a few of his fingers. Like, construction workers don't have hands like that.
I think they're Eric's hands because I think the nails are really long and Eric is really tall. So I think those are Eric's hands.
Okay. Whose hands are you thinking it is, Allison? Or are
I'm
you
going
not
to
giving
throw
a
something
guess?
out. I'm going to say Avon just to give us someone else.
No, don't say that.
Zach's
It's
like,
not
no.
Avon.
Okay.
It's just, no.
I think maybe we have some comments or questions that we should
Well, what if it's
answer.
Jesse Palmer? It could be Jesse
I
Palmer.
mean,
it could
at this
be Grandpa
point-
John.
At this point, Zach, we did talk in our panel yesterday about the Bachelor in Paradise promo and how they just clipped somebody else's hands from years ago. So at this point, like, it really could be, it's
We'll
up in the
never
air.
know.
Could not even be a contestant.
It's-
We'll literally will absolutely never know. Okay, so Valerie says, I think Zach gives Rachel an ultimatum and she says she cannot do that, so then he leaves. Well, that's an interesting perspective because none of us brought that up.
I thought Valerie was talking about me for a second because of Zach. But so it's not me.
I think she's talking about
it's
Zach,
possible.
runner-up.
Yeah. I'm obviously not a runner-up. I'm the winner. So definitely not me. But we don't really know why Zach leaves, but
That's a
we're
great
definitely
answer.
getting
Yeah.
led that he possibly leaves. And what do you think the ultimatum
Yeah.
would be, Allison?
But I mean, to Valerie's point, like we have these clips of her saying, you told me one thing, now you're telling me another. He could have said, and he has said, I love you. To most people, that's unconditional love. He might have said, I'm ready to get engaged. And then maybe they do have a conversation or an ultimatum surrounding fantasy suites,
Yeah.
surrounding her getting with other guys. And he's saying, well, then I wouldn't be able to propose. I wouldn't be able to give you my love. And she's like, you told me
Yeah.
yesterday that there was nothing that could break us.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm
It's
not
going to be
sure if
hard
we
for
have
her.
Here we go.
I'll read
Oh,
Oriah.
Oriah. She's back with
Aloha
us again.
from
Thanks for the support,
Kauai.
Oriah. She
My
says her
hope is for Gabby
is for
to
Gabby
find
to find love.
So glad everyone read that comment. Same here.
Do you
Allison,
want to
you
read
read
it
it
too,
now.
Allison?
Aloha.
I think
from
we all
Kauai.
agree. I think we all agree, Oriah. Our hope is for Gabby to find love as well, both of them.
And Rachel. I want
Okay.
everyone to find love.
Yeah, that's what I said, all of them. Do you want to read this one, Zach?
I guess. I can read it.
Oh,
This is from Crystal. She says, Tino is Mexican according to his father.
I think
that
that's
is
to me because I said he was
awesome.
Italian. Well, I think because I said he was
Oh.
Italian.
See, that's why you should have
So
read this one. But Tino's father, like, he is on Facebook. He is, like, having a lot of
Tino's dad
opinions.
is having a moment.
I cannot wait for
I don't
him
know
to
about.
meet Big Tony,
I
Rachel's
haven't been
dad.
keeping up with Tino's dad's moment.
Oh, he's been on
He
Facebook giving
he
his
posts
opinion.
updates every week. Yeah.
Wow.
He's letting us know how he
Okay.
feels. And it's just a little confusing because he doesn't seem like pro the show. But if Tino wins
Huh.
and he's with Rachel, like maybe Tino didn't tell his parents that he got engaged to Rachel if he got engaged to Rachel. Like maybe his parents still
Yeah.
don't know. Because I would think that they would
That
be
will be
filming
interesting.
something. After the final rose could be really
Yeah.
interesting if you have Tino's parents and Rachel's parents right next to each other. And then Gabby's grandpa.
Agreed. Okay. Leisani, I think is how it's pronounced. What's your pick for Rachel and Gabby? Zach, this question is directed to you.
Yay. Hey, Lasani. I think Rachel's going to pick Tino, and I think Gabby's going to pick Eric. I'm going to pick Avon, and I think that leaves Blakely and Jason, and then Allison and Zach.
I love that we just got paired up, Allison.
Okay.
Cool.
Allison, do you want to read Caitlin's comment?
Yes. If you had to pick a double bachelor, one from each of the women's final three, who would you pick and why? So if we had two bachelors,
Ooh.
similar to if we have two bachelorettes right now, so it has to be one from both camps. I would
Okay.
probably say Avon
good
from
question.
Rachel's and Jason from Gabby's.
See, I'm going Johnny from Gabby's. Jason, he's so sweet, but he's a little bit more reserved. I see Johnny being kind of spicy, like doing fun dates and like being very like fun to watch. Kind of Gabby's energy.
I would say Zach could be a great bachelor, maybe. And then from Gabby's, I guess I would say Jason as well. But I kind of think the Bachelor is going to come from like another season because it doesn't seem like any of these guys are like, capable of carrying a whole season.
Yeah.
A lot of them seem shy.
Well, out of
Hey,
the
we got
three, other than
Clayton.
like the potential for Nate, we did get Clayton.
We did get Clayton. And look how that turned
We
out.
didn't have we didn't have a choice in Clayton though. They made that decision without the fans, and I think that's where they went wrong.
Before the season started,
I'm
on Michelle's
thinking-
season, we found out it was Clayton.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to know who the next Bachelor is going to be. I literally have no idea who they're going to pick. And I don't think they're going to do double Bachelors just because it seems like the double Bachelorette is kind of exhausting, like with all the time and the love stories. So I don't think they're going to do two Bachelors, but maybe they will. But I really have no idea where they're going to come from, if they're going to pull from the past or from this season. Allison, do you have any tidbits or tea that you want to share with the class that you might know?
I wish I did. I feel like it's super up in the air, and I don't even know of anyone who knows, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I did hear that
Okay.
a lot of people thought it was going to be Nate. Like some of the guys from this season were like assuming it would be Nate. But I mean, Nate was just spotted like holding hands with a girl in 7-Eleven. So I think
did
it would
see
be
that.
hard to make him the Bachelor if he's going out in public holding hands with girls. Usually the Bachelor is trying to stay as low key as possible. So it kind of just wows everyone. So my head is really going to someone from an older season.
Well, I guess we will just have to wait and see. That's going to be it for breaking down this trailer, all of our comments for what's coming up next. Of course, if you have anything to add, drop them down in the comments section below. Who do you think Gabby and Rachel are going to end up with? We always love to know what you have to say. But for now, I'm your host, Blakely McHugh. I've got Zachary Reality and Allison Van Dam with me, the best panel host a girl could have. You can see our social media handles on the screen there. Drop by, give us a follow. And if you liked this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and ring that bell so you never miss any of our future videos. And we will see you next time, guys. Have a great day.
Bye. See you later.